Ladies and gentlemen, every great achievement begins not in the hands but in the mind. Before a house is built, it is first drawn. Before a nation is transformed, it is first envisioned. Before a dream becomes reality, it is first conceived in the mind. That is the power of focus. The law of focus teaches us that whatever you consistently place before your mind's eye, you attract into your life. Your mind is a magnet. If you dwell on fear, you will draw circumstances that feed your fear. If you dwell on hope, you will create an environment for possibilities. The mind does not argue with you. It simply multiplies what you feed it. But here is the tragedy. Most people spend their lives scattered. They allow distractions to dictate their attention. They jump from one thought to another, one idea to another, one vision to another. And like a farmer scattering seed on the pavement, nothing grows to its full potential. Listen carefully. A scattered mind cannot attract destiny. Focus is the discipline that turns potential into reality. If you want to train your mind to attract what you desire, the first step is clarity. Ask yourself, what do I really want? Not what others expect of me, not what the crowd celebrates, but what is the vision deep inside of me? A blurred vision produces blurred results. Second, you must guard your focus. Focus is fragile. What you allow through the gates of your eyes, your ears, and your mouth shapes your mind. If you feed on negativity, your mind will produce negativity. If you meditate on possibility, your mind will produce opportunity. Protect your mental diet the way you protect your physical diet. Third, align your life with your focus. Your words, your habits, your relationships, and your actions must serve your vision. Too many people say they want success, but they focus their attention on failure. They say they desire growth, but they surround themselves with people who kill dreams. Focus requires alignment. Understand that focus is not an event, it is a lifestyle. You do not become what you occasionally think about. You become what you consistently focus on. Stay the course. Refuse the distractions. Be persistent until your vision manifests. Friends, the law of focus is not a suggestion. It is a principle. It is as sure as the law of gravity. If you master it, you will train your mind to attract exactly what you desire. But if you ignore it, life will scatter you in every direction and you will live by chance instead of by purpose. So today I challenge you, decide what you want, discipline your focus, guard your mind, and align your actions. When you do, the universe has no choice but to respond. Because you don't attract what you wish for. You attract what you focus on. The mind is a magnet. Whatever you hold in it with intensity will begin to move toward you, quietly, invisibly, but surely. Just as a magnet does not chase the metal, but simply draws it by its nature. Your thoughts carry a force that attracts into your life the things that agree with them. If you constantly dwell on fear, fear will find you. If you meditate on failure, failure will organize itself around you. But if your thoughts are saturated with vision, hope, and determination, opportunities will be pulled into your path, even without your chasing them. This is why you cannot afford to treat your thoughts casually. Every day your mind is broadcasting signals, and life is responding to them. The people you meet, the doors that open, the circumstances you encounter, many of them are not accidents but reflections of the magnetic pull of your thoughts. If you want to change what you are attracting, You must change what you are thinking. The mind is too powerful to waste on worry. It is too valuable to spend on bitterness. It was designed to magnetize possibilities, to draw resources, to gather relationships that serve your destiny. Train it to hold steady on what you desire, and soon you will find that what once seemed far away begins to move closer. The law is simple. What you focus on is what you magnetize, and what you magnetize is what you manifest. Clarity of vision is a foundation of focus. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. Many people are busy, but they are not effective because their vision is blurred. They move from one thing to another, hoping something will work, but without clarity, their energy is wasted. Vision is the picture of your future that you carry in your mind. The clearer that picture is, the stronger the pull it exerts on your life. Cloudy vision produces cloudy results, but a sharp vision draws resources, people, and opportunities with precision. When your vision is clear, decisions become easier. You no longer chase everything that looks attractive because you already know what belongs to you and what does not. Clarity eliminates confusion. It silences distractions. It gives you the power to say no without guilt, because every yes is reserved for what serves your destiny. A clear vision also fuels persistence. When obstacles arise, and they always will, it is clarity that keeps you moving forward. If you cannot see the end, you will give up in the middle. But when the end is vivid in your mind, challenges become temporary, setbacks become lessons, and delays become preparation. If you want to train your mind to attract what you desire, you must first define the desire with clarity. Do not just say, I want success. Describe what success looks like to you. Do not just say, I want change. Write down the kind of change you're willing to commit to. The more specific the picture, the more powerful the focus. The power of attention is the secret behind growth. Whatever you give your consistent attention to will expand in your life. If you give your attention to problems, they will multiply. If you give your attention to possibilities, they will increase. Attention is like water to a seed. Whatever you pour it on begins to sprout and grow. The tragedy is that many people waste this power by feeding it on what they do not want. They think constantly about fear, lack, and failure, and then wonder why those very things keep showing up. Your attention is a currency, and every day you are spending it. The question is, what are you buying with it? If your attention is consumed by social media, gossip, and negativity, you are purchasing distractions. But if you invest your attention in learning, vision, relationships, and growth, you are purchasing destiny. Where your attention goes, your future flows. Attention also has a shaping power. What you look at long enough begins to shape your desires, your emotions, and your decisions. This is why guarding your focus is not optional. A distracted attention creates a distracted life, but when you fix your attention on what you desire with consistency, you send a signal to your mind and to the world around you that this is what matters, and everything begins to align toward it. The power of attention is the difference between drifting through life and directing your life. It is not enough to simply wish for change. You must give your sustained attention to it. When attention is disciplined, results are inevitable. Distractions are silent killers because they rarely announce their arrival. They do not come with loud warnings or obvious threats. They creep in quietly, stealing minutes, then hours, then years. A distraction may look harmless, even entertaining, but its true danger lies in how it pulls you away from your focus. One moment of distraction may not seem significant, but repeated moments slowly drain the strength of your vision until what was once burning with passion becomes a faint memory. The greatest enemy of focus is not always failure, it is distraction. You can recover from failure because failure teaches, but distraction is subtle. It makes you believe you are moving when you are actually standing still. You spend energy, but not on what matters. You become busy, but not productive. And because distraction is often disguised as opportunity, it takes discernment to recognize it. Every distraction is a thief of destiny. When you give your attention to what does not serve your vision, you delay what was meant to happen sooner. It robs you of momentum. It divides your strength. It scatters your potential like seeds thrown on the wind, producing little to no harvest. If you are serious about attracting what you desire, you must learn to treat distractions as enemies, not companions. You cannot entertain every invitation, watch everything offered, or engage in every conversation and expect to remain focused. Greatness requires selective blindness. To focus is to say no far more often than you say yes. A distracted life is a wasted life. But a disciplined life, free from unnecessary noise, creates space for vision to grow and for destiny to manifest. The law of concentration teaches that energy flows where attention goes. Whatever you concentrate on intensifies. It gains strength, it gathers momentum, and eventually it manifests. Just as sunlight scattered across a field is warm but harmless, yet when concentrated through a magnifying glass can set afire, so it is with your thoughts and focus. Scattered thinking produces warmth but no power. Concentrated thinking produces fire that cannot be ignored. Concentration is the difference between wishing and creating. Wishing is casual, concentration is intentional. When you concentrate on a single vision, you give it permission to grow roots deep into your mind. You begin to see connections, opportunities, and strategies that others overlook. What seemed impossible before becomes inevitable because your mind is locked in, filtering out distractions and sharpening your awareness. But concentration requires discipline. The human mind is naturally restless, always jumping from one thought to another. Training it to concentrate is like training a muscle. It grows stronger with practice. This means setting aside dedicated time to think, to plan, to act without interruption. It means resisting the temptation to chase too many things at once. A divided focus creates diluted results. When you learn to concentrate, you multiply your efforts. 1 hour of pure concentration produces more fruit than weeks of scattered energy. One vision pursued with intensity outshines a dozen half-hearted attempts. Concentration gathers all your mental, emotional, and spiritual energy into one direction, and that unified force draws results to you with power. Discipline of the mind is the training that separates dreamers from achievers. A dream without mental discipline remains an idea, but a disciplined mind has the strength to carry a vision until it becomes reality. Discipline means teaching your thoughts where to go and refusing to let them wander aimlessly. It is the ability to hold your focus on what matters, even when your emotions want to drift, even when distractions call for your attention, and even when obstacles make the vision look impossible. And the mind left untrained is like a wild horse. It runs in every direction, full of energy, but without purpose. Discipline is the harness that brings that power under control, directing it toward your goals. This is why consistency is more powerful than intensity. A burst of focus for a moment cannot create lasting change, but steady discipline day after day builds a momentum that nothing can stop. Discipline of the mind requires habits. It means choosing what you feed your thoughts each morning, deciding what conversations you allow to shape your perspective, and guarding what images you let rest in your imagination. It means silencing the voice of doubt and replacing it with a voice of possibility. Discipline is not about force. It is about training. The more you practice, the easier it becomes for your mind to stay fixed on your vision without being swayed. When your mind is disciplined, you become dangerous to failure. Challenges may come, but your focus will not waver. Delays may appear, but your determination will not die. The disciplined mind is a steady mind, and a steady mind attracts steady progress. Over time, what once required effort becomes natural, and the vision that seemed far away moves closer with every disciplined thought. Focus creates alignment, because when your mind is fixed on a clear vision, everything else in your life begins to arrange itself around that vision. Thoughts, emotions, words, and actions that once pulled in different directions now move together like rivers joining into one stream. Alignment is the secret to power. A person divided within themselves cannot stand strong, but when the inner world is unified, the outer world follows. When you focus, your decisions start to reflect your vision. You no longer waste time on things that do not move you forward because your choices are measured against the picture of your desired future. Your emotions begin to align as well. Instead of being ruled by fear or doubt, you find strength in hope and clarity in conviction. Even your words gain power because they echo the vision you are carrying. Your conversations, your declarations, your prayers, and even your casual speech reinforce the reality you are pursuing. Alignment also touches your relationships. The moment you set your focus, the people who do not belong to your destiny will begin to fall away, and those who carry what you need will begin to draw near. It is not magic. It is the natural response of alignment. Focus acts like a filter, revealing who belongs in your future and who is only a distraction from it. When your focus creates alignment, progress becomes inevitable. You stop fighting against yourself. Your energy is not wasted on contradictions. Every part of you begins to push in the same direction, and the universe itself responds to that harmony. Alignment makes you unstoppable because everything in you and around you is flowing with the same current toward the same goal. Guarding your mental gates is one of the most important disciplines if you want your focus to remain strong. The eyes, the ears, and the mouth are doors to the mind, and whatever enters through them will take root and shape your thoughts. If you allow negativity, fear, or small thinking to pour in unchecked, your mind will become a breeding ground for limitation. But if you choose carefully what you watch, what you listen to, and what you speak, your mind will be filled with images and words that feed your vision instead of starving it. The danger is that most people leave these gates unprotected. They consume every conversation, every headline, every opinion without filtering it through the standard of their vision. They do not realize that the mind is always recording, always storing, always processing over time. Those seeds, whether good or bad, begin to grow. The mind cannot resist what is consistently planted in it. That is why guarding the gates is not about isolation, but about selection. It is not refusing everything. It is choosing the right things. To guard your gates means you become intentional about your environment. You decide who has the right to speak into your life. You determine which voices deserve your attention. You discipline yourself to listen to words that lift you, to watch images that inspire you, to speak language that aligns with your destiny. Every input is shaping your output, and every output is shaping your reality. When your gates are guarded, your focus remains protected. Distractions lose their grip. Negativity cannot take root. Doubt has no entry point. Your mind becomes like fertile ground, receiving only the seeds that produce the harvest you desire. Guard your gates diligently, for the strength of your focus depends on the purity of what enters them. The role of persistence is to carry your focus beyond moments of excitement into the seasons of testing. Anyone can focus when the vision is new and the path is smooth. But true focus is proven when delays come, when results seem far away, and when obstacles rise against your progress. Persistence is the fuel that keeps your mind fixed on the goal, even when your emotions are tired and your circumstances are discouraging. Without persistence, focus will fade. The mind will naturally drift toward comfort, toward ease, toward escape. Persistence refuses to let that happen. It tells the mind, we are not turning back. We are not quitting. We will stay here until what we desire comes into reality. That kind of determination sends a signal not only to your own spirit, but also to the world around you. Opportunities begin to respect a persistent person. Resistance begins to weaken in the face of consistency. Persistence also protects you from the illusion of quick results. Many lose their focus because they expect immediate harvest, forgetting that every seed requires time in the ground. Persistence teaches you patience. It trains your mind to endure the silence, to trust the process, and to keep watering the vision even when nothing seems to be happening. The truth is, persistence transforms focus into a lifestyle. Focus without persistence is temporary inspiration, but focus with persistence becomes an unshakable force. It is a reason some people rise while others quit. It is a reason certain visions survive storms that destroy weaker ones. When your focus is clothed with persistence, there is no power strong enough to deny you the future you have chosen. Living with intentionality means refusing to drift through life waiting for chance to decide your future. It is choosing to direct your days instead of being directed by circumstances. When you live with intent, every choice is measured, every step is purposeful, and every action is tied to the vision you carry. You stop asking, what will happen to me? And you begin to declare, what will I make happen? Intentionality is the discipline of aligning your time, your energy, and your resources with the destination you desire. Too many people allow life to push them like leaves in the wind, changing direction with every storm, shifting course with every opinion, reacting instead of creating. But intentional living demands clarity. You wake up each day knowing where you are going, and you set your focus on the decisions that move you closer to it. This does not mean you control every detail, but it does mean you control your direction. When you live intentionally, your habits begin to serve you. You no longer waste time on empty routines that drain your strength. You invest your hours in activities that build your character, expand your knowledge, and grow your vision. Your relationships become intentional too. You choose people who feed your focus, not those who fracture it. Even your words become intentional because you understand they are seeds shaping your reality. Intentionality transforms life from survival to purpose. It gives meaning to the ordinary and power to the simple. When you live with intent, you attract opportunities that align with your vision, because life responds to those who know where they are going. You stop being at the mercy of chance and begin to live as an architect of your own destiny. To attract what you desire, you must live each day as if it is building the future you have already seen in your mind. Every principle we have shared comes down to one simple truth. Your life will always move in the direction of your dominant focus. If your thoughts are scattered, your life will be scattered. If your vision is blurred, your results will be blurred. But if your focus is clear, disciplined, and persistent, then everything around you must eventually align with what you carry inside. You are not a victim of chance. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You have been given a mind that can magnetize your future, a vision that can direct your steps, and a focus that can create alignment, discipline, and persistence. Do not waste this power. Guard it, sharpen it, and use it. With intentionality, the difference between those who dream and those who achieve is not luck. It is focus. When you master the law of focus, you stop chasing life, and life begins to chase you. So I leave you with this challenge. Fix your mind on what you desire. Refuse the distractions. Persist through the delays, and live each day with intent. Because you will never attract what you merely wish for. You will always attract what you focus on.